joining us today. We're here with Dr. Rinta to go over some commonly asked questions on grooming and skin care. Our first question is, I would like to give my pet a bath. How should I go about doing that?
I think the most important thing when you're going to go forward with a bath, especially with a dog, is to be prepared. You want to have a pile of towels. You want to have some pre-purchased soap-free shampoo. Get some cotton balls, have some nail trimmers ready to go, have everything set and in place, because some dogs aren't too excited about taking a bath. You can pre-fill your bathtub a little bit with water if your dog is scared of the sound of the water coming through the nozzle, or you can just use your nozzle. When you first put your pet in the water, get them all wet. Do put a cotton ball in both of their ears before you start the bath, however, because we don't want to get any water down their ear canals during the bath. That can actually start and seed infections in the ears. So pop the little cotton balls in their ears and then get them all wet, soap them up, and you want to massage their body for about 5 to 10 minutes to really get the shampoo in and rehydrate the skin. There are so many good shampoos out there on the market now that can really make the hair coat lustrous and their skin rehydrated. So keep the shampoo on that length of time and then rinse it very thoroughly. If you leave soap residue on the dog, you can cause itching after the bath. And I don't recommend any chemicals in the shampoo unless your veterinarian recommends a specific medicated shampoo for your dog. I always wipe the ears out and trim the nails at the same time that I bathe my dogs.
Okay. And so I wouldn't want to use like a human shampoo on my dog?
That's not recommended. It'd be better to use a soap-free dog or cat shampoo. Okay. And regarding cats, I don't recommend to bathe a cat. They are such fastidious groomers, and usually they're going to scratch and not be terribly excited about the whole thing, and safety's number one. So if your cat does need to have a bath, I think it's good to take it to a professional groomer or your veterinarian. Some cats need special grooming or clippings, and so just consult a professional on that.
And then how often should I bathe my dog?
I recommend for adult dogs to bathe them once a month. It's good to get them cleaned. You're kind of checking them over, feeling them for new lumps and bumps and that type of thing. Puppies, on the other hand, I think you should bathe them more frequently so that they get used to the water.
Okay. And is a dry bath better versus a bath in the tub?
Yeah, a wet bath definitely is going to be more beneficial than a dry bath. But sometimes in the cold weather, you can use waterless shampoos that you can spray on your pet if they get dirty in the winter.
Okay. Is there a relationship between how long my pet's nails are to their overall health?
There is a relationship between a dog's health and the length of their nails. Yeah, we do see infections sometimes happen. The dew claw especially, which is a dog's thumb, that nail, if missed when they're clipping, will grow around into the fleshy part of the pad, and that can cause infections and pain. And sometimes as the nails grow out, when the dogs are walking on the ground, it causes the toes to spread out and it can put extra stress on their feet. With certain dogs, when the nails grow out long, they can snag them on rugs and carpets, and if that happens, they can break the tip of the nail off. And very often at our veterinary clinic, we see dogs with broken toenails almost every week, and that can be painful, and the infection can go up into the bone and cause osteomyelitis, and a dog could potentially lose a toe from that. So I recommend to clip their nails every month.
Okay. And so what do I do if I'm trimming my pet's nails at home and I cut it too short and it bleeds?
Yeah, that is probably the #1 fear of all pet owners, is trimming their dog's nails at home and it bleeds. You can purchase some little quick stop powder from your veterinarian, and what I would recommend is have Q-tips and have the quick stop ready. You can get the tip of the Q-tip wet, dab it in that quick stop powder, and have it ready just in case you do quick the nails. So preventative is the best. But if you're caught off guard and you do clip their nail and it starts to bleed, you can just hold a cold compress or a cotton ball on the tip of the nail, but you're going to have to hold it for about 5 minutes to get it to stop bleeding with a little bit of pressure. If it doesn't stop bleeding within 5 minutes, I would take them into the vet so that they can stop it.
Okay. And what does it mean when my dog drags its bottom across the floor?
Yeah, that's a very good question. We hear that question often. Very often our dogs will rub their bottom across the floor because of their anal glands. The anal glands are these vestigial scent glands, and they sometimes can get blocked, and the dog will scoop to try to release them. But if they can't release them on their own, sometimes they need help through the assistance of a veterinarian or a groomer. We go in and express those completely. The other reason that our dogs and cats might itch their bottom is from worms, parasites. And so it is a good idea to have an intestinal parasite screen check on your dog to make sure that they don't have parasites and that's causing the itchy bottom.
Okay. And what causes a pet to shed?
Usually it's the season. Most dogs will shed in the fall and again in the spring. When they shed in the fall, they're shedding out their thin coat from the summer to allow the heavy fur to come in for the winter. Then the opposite happens in the springtime. They're shedding out all their heavy winter coat and getting ready for the summer. We think some dogs shed continually, throughout the year, potentially because of the natural lights that they're under in the house.
Okay. And as my pet ages, how will their hair coat change, or will it?
Yeah, sometimes the hair coat does change with age, and sometimes it's breed specific. Very often with puppies, as they shed out their fuzzy undercoat, puppy coat, their color will change a little bit when the adult hair coat comes in. And we find occasionally at the veterinary clinic when we're shaving for certain procedures, when the hair grows back in, especially on an older pet or the really plush coated breeds, the hair will grow in a different color. Sometimes lighter, sometimes darker.
Okay. And do fleas, when I use a flea collar, do the fleas have to go near the flea collar to be killed, or how does that work?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's funny that you ask about flea collars because we haven't really been using flea collars in veterinary medicine for many, many years. It's kind of archaic. Mm-hmm. There's a whole new generation of very effective flea control products out now. Ask your veterinarian, they can help you get set up with a safe one. It's important that we use them properly. There are some that are FDA approved because they are internal products, and there are some products that are FDA approved that are external, that get absorbed internally. And then there are EPA approved products that are topical products that can be applied. So there's all kinds of options out there. It's very important that we never put a dog product on a cat. There are products that you can buy over the counter, and they can be unsafe, so you have to be very cautious with those. Kitty cats can have seizures, and it can be life-threatening from that. And so use the advice of your veterinarian as to what flea product is appropriate, and I'm going to say scratch the flea collars. and no, I would also recommend to not even use flea shampoos. They also are just, we don't use those anymore.
Okay. And how often should you apply a topical flea control?
You want to put a topical flea control on typically is once a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I've heard that garlic helps repel fleas and prevent parasites. Is that true?
Yeah, you will come across individuals that just believe that the garlic repels the fleas and also might even get rid of internal parasites. There's no scientific evidence that actually supports that.
Okay. And then my pet has a bad odor and has flaky skin and it's red, and what do you think that could be?
Yeah, there's a number of causes for flaky red skin. It sounds kind of potentially like a dermatitis, but that could be caused by a number of different things. So in that case, I'd recommend that you do take your dog into your veterinarian, have them do an examination so you can get to the bottom of that problem.
Okay. And how would I know if my pet had mange?
Yes, mange topic comes up quite often. It is thankfully very rare that we see true mange, and when individuals talk about mange, they're usually referring to sarcoptic mange, which humans can get. So that would have to be an examination under the microscope of the skin. And so you would need to take your pet into the veterinarian to have that test run.
Okay. Well, thanks, Dr. Rinta. That concludes our section today on grooming and skin care. Thank you.